How's it going, everyone? It is Monday, December 9th, 2024. Let's take a look at the pick from the last video, which was Tesla. So on a D1 chart for this stock, let's take a look at this first. You can see how the stock had a breakout, fresh new D1 buy signal, and then we had some follow through selling on the next day. Massive move higher on volume, and compressed had this upward ascending triangle, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. And 15-minute chart, it was compressing with a slight upward bias here. Poked out, right? We got this high here, poked out, came back in here, poked out, came back in here, and then we finally got that breakout. So that's what I had in Tesla. Got my buy signal for snow. And yesterday, right, or not for yesterday, Friday, I should say, while the market was making a move down lower and lower and lower, choppy, Tesla had a gap down, filled in the gap, and it formed a higher low, double bottom, started to grind up a little bit higher, and then we got this buy signal. So I got in pretty close to this buy signal at around 376.60. And then when it broke through the high of the day, I added at 379.60, and then I rode this guy up, scaling out slowly, and then managed to scale out the remaining part of the position at 389. So I'm going to go and look at this chart on an M1 basis, just because I used that M1 in the last hour of the trade to give myself a little bit more precision. Now, how I played this is that when we had that breakout, right, we're running this position up, and I added here. I took half profits here, I took the remaining quarter profits here, and I took the remaining quarter profits over here. So I did actually manage to ride up a good chunk of this move, which is pretty good. And the way I could have gotten better is to not have scaled out at all in this move. And you could say, well, hindsight's 2020. How did you know? Well, the clue here is I saw this candle, right? So I see this candle, I see the volume kind of spiking up a little bit. It looks a little bit hammery. So I thought, all right, well, maybe I should take some partial profits here. And then we got a little bit of a pullback. We never quite made a new low, and then we made a new high in the next 4 candles. Okay, we're back on track. Little minor candle. I'm like, I'm not too worried about this candle here. Let's see if we get back on track. And then, oh, okay, we get this longer candle. I'm a little bit sus of this. So it takes some mild gains at 384 on this next move up. I'm like, let me just take some gains. But I'm not ready to bail on the whole thing yet because I need to see a deeper drop. So we got this move up higher. And then I'm still riding it, and then we're breaking out, and I love this, again, another ascending triangle here. So you can see that any kind of ounce of profit taking that we're seeing in the stock, any little pause, these are just mild pauses that we pause for, let's see, I don't know, maybe a couple of bars. We make a new high, pause, new high, and then over here, right, this is pretty normal, and then this long candle after that, that's a bit of a buying climax. So I took some gains at 389, right around over here. And pretty happy with that. So what I should have done is just ridden the move. And honestly, if I was really confident, I could have added a little bit, right? We get a new high of the day. Okay, add. Pull back, new high of the day, add. Compression break, add. And then scale out of these gains as we approach the last couple of minutes. Now, I'm not sure if I would add over here. It's pretty volatile, pretty late in the day. Not crazy about those kind of candles. You could strip away a lot of the gains. But would certainly add to this position given this strong momentum going into that. So that's what we like in Tesla. That was a nice little day trade. Let's take a look at what's going on today in the market. So we got this flat open today, some bit of heavy selling pressure. And then after we got this little bit of bounce as we tested the support from December 4th, this gap up from December 4th. And the 8 EMA is also right around here at 604.26. You'll notice that I have an order out, so I am short SPY over here. A little bit under at the moment, but just kind of watching the price action to see just what the heck's kind of happening here with the market and the stock. So with SPY right now, we have this decent round of selling pressure earlier in the day. We got this tall bounce, and then you can see that we kind of meandered around a little bit. We're starting to form some resistance. So I see, okay, I kind of, I'm coming to the day, I'm seeing this kind of price action. I'm like, all right, let's wait for some resistance to form. We get this marginal new high. I kind of like what I'm seeing here. And then we're starting to kind of poke in lower. And this looks like it's going in, and then we close kind of above it. So not crazy about that. And then we get one little last push up higher. And then this is actually a nice little signal bar because we get a nice leg lower. So we have some resistance at 606. And right now, the market is making new lows, but there are buyers and sellers here kind of fighting it out. So it is, I'd say, mildly bearish to slightly neutral at the moment intraday. Let's take a look at the longer term context. On a D1 basis, we're still bullish. On a shorter term basis, I am neutral to mildly bearish. I've taken gains on a good chunk of my swing trades, probably about 60% of it. I'm in some of my swing trades partially, and I'm just willing to hold those remaining ones through the FOMC or through a dip. And I'm expecting a dip maybe to 600 or 596. 596 is the anchored VWAP from this election candle, as well as the prior all-time high candle. And if you notice this support over here that came in, it was right around this gap, as well as actually the prior all-time high AVWAP on the 17th. It found some support there. So I think that is a potentially relevant level, which is why I have marked it on the chart. And, I could probably even drop one like that. And you'll see it come into play here. And then if I wanted to drop one over here, you'll see it come into play there. So I think those are some potential levels to keep an eye out for. Right now, all right, yeah, so market is making another test at VWAP over here. And it's kind of forming a little bit of support. So let's take a look at a couple of positions here, and then we'll go over or maybe I'll go over my swings first, because I think that'll be a little more important. But first kind of swing here, let's look at our YouTube picks. Okay, we have team. Like what I'm seeing in team, right? We didn't get a big drop. Let me see the action today. We got the big drop, and it actually recovered to VWAP fairly quickly. This is actually really light volume. Ton of volume coming into here. So that's some relative strength. I like what I'm seeing in that chart on team. Netflix seems like a similar deal, testing that 8 EMA early. Now, we actually had a much higher low and recovered a little bit faster. So it was weak earlier in the day, and then buyers are coming in at that 8 EMA. UPST, yeah, kind of doing nothing. Didn't really do a whole lot in this morning. GoDaddy coming back, testing the breakout. That's why we scaled out of half of that position over here. Testing that breakout. So we might we know that the trend is weakening because we got this test pretty fast, and a lot of this candle, gave it a lot of this candle fairly early. You can see over here, we got this breakout. We never quite got the retest, right? This came over here. We got the breakout over here. Never quite got to that retest. We got some nice follow through. So this is telling us the market's slowing down. Stock is also slowing down. Twillo came over here. Here's a test of that IPO, a VWAP that we broke through. So I like that test. I'm cool with that test. I like us holding that test. And you can see that we're looking pretty nice over here. So a lot of stocks had a little bit of selling pressure earlier in the day. But again, I mean, this is what I was expecting. I'm not like freaking out about this, right? This is part of the game plan. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, right? I didn't expect this. I didn't see this coming. That's why I scaled out of so many of my positions. Reddit had a big drop and had a pretty nice recovery onwards. So we'll see what the stock does. I haven't put an order out yet, but there is looks like it gapped up pretty hard. There might be some sellers at, 176, 180-ish. A lot of profit targets raised out to 200. So I may just continue riding this guy up higher, just giving it a chance to prove itself. And I like this long candle right here because I like this reaction that it got up pretty quickly before the market had a chance to get up. Right here is the market. I mean, this is the sell-off, and then 11:15, and then formed that base, and it just started to grind higher. And really nice chance at 105. It's a nice buy signal here above VWAP. Yeah, I mean, this is not a bad time to take it. And this is the open close here. So stock is green for the day over here, and you can ride that pony up higher. I think I missed the gate a little bit over here. I would have liked to get in maybe, about half an hour ago. If this market support starts to hold, but we didn't really have the market confidence right over here. Right now, what I'm seeing in the market is that buyers, I think, are wresting a little bit more of control in the stock. I think this is going to be a double bottom higher low. I think we're probably going to break through VWAP. We're testing this level here, and we haven't been able to actually get through to the downside. So there is a bid, right? The bid is pretty stubborn. So looking to get out of my SPY short, and I'm in 1 or 2 longs here. So I'm going to point out one long that I'm in right now, which is Futu. So this stock, massive move up on volume. There's some China's news. So China's doing all sorts of witchcraft over here in their economy. But we got to test. So we're holding these gains here. Not really strong. Didn't really rally too much up with the market. I'm liking this view up to hold, but I wanted to see some better price action over here. So it's a bit of a no man's land, bit of a no man's zone. But I am just kind of willing to hold it and willing to kind of give it hold through VWAP here, let this support ride out until it's really broken. So just kind of seeing what happens on Futu. This is a small starter position, so if it can start to get through the trend line and move up later in the day, I feel good. As long as we hold this position, I think there's a good chance of a late day acceleration in the stock. You can see this can typically happen after a big move, and it spends pretty much the entire day. This is the first hour of the move, so the first 40 minutes we move up higher, and it's spending the entire day digesting all the gains. So quite a bit of support over here. Now, if it starts to flip, then that's when I have to get out of the trade. But as long as it holds this position, I feel pretty good. So I just have an alert placed on the downside over here. So if it really starts to get through there, then I have to be a little more cautious. If the market starts to roll over here, the stock's looking relatively weak and starts to crack through, all right, I'm going to have to get out of the trade. Another not as common one, but experimenting with a little bit over here. This Tesla break got in right over here at this high of the day breakout on Tesla at 385.40. Has a chance to get back to VWAP. I like there was some selling pressure here, but I know it's a strong D1, and I liked this strong move up earlier. This just tells me that buyers and sellers are paired off a little bit, but we are closer to support over here, and leaning on really this level, this candle right over here at 378. So took a small starter size on that. But let's take a look at a couple of other picks that are looking pretty nice. So I liked Apple. This stock has been compressing. We had a really nice move up higher, going sideways a little bit today. So if it can find some support, we're in good shape. Ideally, the best kind of stocks are a stock that is kind of compressing over here, and that's starting to make its move up, just kind of grinding up higher. That'd be the best candidate for a long. So I don't mind taking Reddit as a day trade long. I mean, it's not bad here. I would prefer. The thing is, this move has already kind of started from over here, right? So this is the start of the move, and it chewed through a couple of levels. So getting over here, I wouldn't mind, because I do have this level of support that I can lean on for a test. But I am going to look at some other picks. Pins is pretty nice. Let's take a look at pins. It's a nice stock. It might be kind of topping out over here for the time being. You can see big move up, test the breakout, big move up, test the breakout, move up, test the breakout, and then we got another couple of tests over here. So if you get it close to support, this is not a bad place to buy. But not as crazy about that. AAP has been a monster today. Yeah, so now it's pulled back over here. It may be starting to find some support. So you can see that we have this really strong move, and then we're starting to get these mixed candles and this steady grind higher after this big move that tells us that this is, don't get in here, or to be pretty careful. You have to get in at a good price, and you're better off waiting for a dip of support. And you see that we're actually not able to get through this long red candle. I'd like to see a move back at VWAP and then a bit of a double bottom intraday, and that would get me kind of long. So we don't have an exit signal yet, but yeah, I may create an alert, and may just do an HA reversal. So I like to see, yeah, I mean a bit of a longer or tighter compression. ASAN is a really nice one that I like. Super tight compression after this move up. One test support, double bottom, higher low. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind getting in on this guy. And usually what I'll check is just an AVWAP at the high of the day. See where that's coming into play. Yeah, you can see we're chopping around here, not doing a whole lot. So That tells us that, all right, we're really not really going anywhere. It's compressing. So either we break out of this compression, we're ready to go, or you can take a starter position and kind of ride it out. Let's see here. FSLY. I do like this setup here. It's made a nice move yesterday, and this is a pretty choppy stock where it makes a move back, finds support over here, and then rallies. So pretty similar pattern here. Rally up, find some support. So I lean on this level over here. We might even come back to VWAP, but it has to hold 11.13. But there's a good chance it could come back and test the high of the day. Just don't love this risk reward. If it breaks through, you're looking at maybe taking the loss at 11 bucks. So it's like a 40-cent loss versus like doesn't break the upside, maybe a 20-cent gain, maybe. So not the best. If you can make it 1-to-1 closer to VWAP, it'd be a little bit better. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're seeing today in the market. So if I had to give a pick, I would probably, let me see here. Let's take a look at a couple more picks. MP's not bad. Came back in, found some support. Yeah, I like to get in over here, maybe over here. Lumina, what the hell's going on with Lumina? Amazon has been strong today. It's a pretty nice little grinder. As Google. It's really choppy. Yeah, a lot of Chinese stocks are up a lot. We've talked about ASAN, eBay, topping out there. AAP could be good. Just not really relatively strong right now. Yeah. What would I do here? What would I do? Net could work. Just looking for some stocks that are positive for the day. Amazon is actually pretty nice. Let me go back to Amazon. It's a pretty interesting move here. Yeah. We've got a test here, double top, lower bottom, holding the gains at VWAP. Now, there is some resistance at 230, but nice little day trade opportunity. It's losing some relative strength, though. It's tough to say. It's a really massive move in that stock. Yeah, I mean, I might go with Amazon potentially as a day trade long here. And I like this entry here. So, yeah, I think that's going to be my pick for the day. And if it can get through, this high, then we can add to the trade. And if it doesn't, then we have a chance to scratch out of the trade. We're leaning on this prior support right above VWAP over here. So that's going to be the pick of the day. Amazon as a day trade long. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll take a look at how this pick did tomorrow. And we'll see what the market is looking like tomorrow.